Virus, a tiny acellular infectious agent that rely on living cell to multiply. Virus occupy a special taxonomy because they are not plant, animal, or prokaryotic bacteria, and they are generally placed in their own kingdom. Virus generally come in two forms, rod and sphere. However, bacteriophage have a unique shape with geometric head and filamentous fibers. No matter the shape, all true viruses contain nucleic acid, either RNA or DNA, and protein. Nucleic acid encode genetic information of each virus. The extracellular form of the virus is called the virion. It contains at least one unique protein synthesized by specific gene in the nucleic acid of that virus. Virus also have an outer protein shell known as a caspid. There are two processes used by virus to replicate, the lytic cycle and lysogenic cycle. In the lytic cycle, the virus attach to the host cell and inject its DNA. Viral infections are the best prevented by vaccine. Example of virus is coronavirus. Coronavirus is belonging to family Coronaridae. Club-shaped glycoprotein spike in the envelope give the virus a crown-like or coronal appearance. Within 2 decades, there have emerged two highly pathogenic and deadly human coronavirus, namely SARS-CoV and SARS-CoV-2.
Next, we move on to bacteria. What is bacteria? Bacteria are prokaryotes, which are single-celled organisms with a simple internal structure that lacks a nucleus and contains DNA that either floats freely in a twisted thread-like mass called nucleus or in separate circular species called plasmid. There are 3 basic bacterial shapes, which are: first, round bacterial called cocci; second, the cylindrical capsule shapes once known as bacilli; and third, spiral shape, which is like worm-like shapes, bacteria called spirilla. Is viruses and bacteria are the same thing? Nope, they are not. This is because viruses cannot live without their host cell, while bacteria does not need it. Mostly bacteria multiply by a process called binary fission. In this process, a single bacterial cell called the parent makes a copy of its DNA and grows larger by doubling its cellular content. The cell then splits apart, pushing the duplicated material out and creating 2 identical daughter cells. Thank you.
Bacteria and viruses are too tiny to be seen by naked eyes, can cause similar symptoms, and are often spread in the same way, but that's where the similarities end. But what are differences between these two kinds of infectious organisms? So, the difference between bacteria and virus are: bacteria are tiny microorganisms that are made up of a single cell. They are very diverse and can have a large variety of shapes and structural features. Bacteria can live in almost every conceivable environment, including in or on the human body. Only a handful of bacteria cause infections in humans. These bacteria are referred to as pathogenic bacteria. Next, viruses are another type of tiny microorganism, although they are even smaller than bacteria. Like bacteria, they are very diverse and have a variety of shapes and features. Viruses are parasitic. That means they require living cell or tissue or host in which to grow. Viruses can invade the cells of your body using the components of your cell to grow and multiply. Some viruses even kill host cells as a part of their life cycle. There is a difference and similarity between viruses and bacteria.
As for the relationship between COVID-19 and SARS, comparative genomic analysis have shown that SARS-CoV-2 belongs to the group of beta coronaviruses, and it is very close or very similar to SARS-CoV, which is responsible for an epidemic of acute pneumonia which appeared in November 2002 in the Chinese province of Guangdong. A total of 8,098 persons or cases were recorded, including 774 deaths. It is known that bats of the genus of Rhinolophus and potentially several cave species were the reservoir of this virus, and a small carnivore, which is the palm civet or Paguma lavata, may have served as an intermediate host between bats and the first human cases. Since then, many beta coronaviruses have been discovered, mainly in bats but also in humans. For example, RATG13 isolated from a bat of the species of Rhinolophus affinis collected in China's Yunnan province. It is been described as very similar to SARS-CoV-2 with genome sequences identical to 96%.